And away we go. Am I white box? Yes, I'm white box. Hi, it's Elaine Nieberding, and this is episode 17. Count 'em, 1-7 of the Holy Shift Show. And today we are talking about play, practice, and serve. Serving the Google Plus community, the Hangouts on Air community, and really exploring how this medium of Hangouts is so amazing for collaborating, for getting to know people, and really serving each other's efforts in growing to learn how to use and benefit from this magnanimous medium. We're here to have fun today, and I have a great group. You've all been waiting, I'm sure, because originally the show was going to be 2 weeks ago. Or, no, last week. Anyway, we switched things up a little bit, but today is the day. So here is Rain Dowell. Rain, where are you hanging out from?
I'm hanging out from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
And what time zone are you in, my dear? You're a couple hours difference from me.
Yes, I am. I'm MST, Mountain Time, so it's noon, lunchtime here.
It's lunchtime. And let me tell you, Hangout hosts have been in a flurry this week due to the daylight savings time change. And, you know, not all places around the world change their time zones when the U.S. and North America does. So there have been some snafus, but hopefully people have laughed their way through them and are carrying on. Terry Lee Britton, I'm going to say hi to you. Tell us where you're hanging out from.
Oh, yes, from the far east of the United States in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
It's always good to have someone on from the far east, because especially when they're as far out as you are, Terry Lee Britton.
That's right, I'm far out into
I
the
say
water.
that with love and affection. And now, jumping really, really far away, I have Nazim Beltran. Say your last name for me, sir.
Va bene, il nome è Nazim Beltran. Across from the pond from Milan, Italy, and it's I forgot to get my glass of wine. It's cocktail time. I'll get that. But it's always
you do have permission from the host to turn your camera off and get your glass of wine.
I will eventually
This is all about play. Remember, that's one of the words of the focus of the show today.
Exactly.
So this is your first time on the Holy Shift Show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for the invite. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, we have Nazim has been seen on lots of fun shows. Chef Dennis's show, Mia Voss's show, lots of time. Yeah. Food and booze shows, those are always fun.
Those are always fun, yeah.
Those are always fun. But I'm going to start out now talking about this idea about practice. When you are interested in becoming a Hangout host or a Hangout panelist, boy, you want to keep practicing so the technological aspects kind of disappear and you get comfortable with them so you can be your real, authentic self in front of the camera, you know, and deliver your great content. And Rain, I would like to say that Rain Dowell has been a great help to many Hangout hosts and folks on Google Plus by basically helping out as a production assistant, growing her own skill, and then paving the way for the expansion of her own business. So, Rain, I think that was a pretty darn good strategy for lots of people to get to know you, for you to grow your own skills and help out people like me. So Rain actually helped me out for the first couple months of the Holy Shift Show, which debuted in October of 2014. So just talk a little bit about that experience, then we'll jump on over to Comment Tracker and say hi to some of the folks in the audience.
Sounds great. Yeah, this has been it's been a fantastic journey, an absolutely amazing journey. I wanted to my whole purpose towards learning about HOAs was basically it was about video. How can businesses and business people utilize the medium of video? And I knew from my own perspective in dealings with business people with regard to video that one huge component of that was they were shy. They were shy and they didn't know how to present on video. They didn't, so I knew that was a crucial component to video. And the other one was the technology. People didn't understand the technology, the buttons to push and that type of thing. So I knew those two places of fear were causing people to, they weren't doing it because of these reasons. So I thought, well, I can't really talk anybody into doing this because I had done a video or two for businesses, and it was extremely hard in the 3 days to pull them through the process of being comfortable on video. So I knew I was basically going to have to do it myself. I was going to have to figure out how to do this myself. So I started off with Ronnie Bincer's Hangout Mastery course, went in there and gathered a bunch of information and took a lot of notes and everything, and then I popped over to the user community and I started practicing all the different types of HOAs you could practice. And that's where I met you, Elaine, was I was doing a Space Jam Hangout game show and you, I don't know how, popped into the practice, and that's how we met, which was a lot of fun. And then just continued the journey, and for me, it was really, the most difficult thing for me was not the technology, it was getting comfortable being on camera and just being seen on camera and be able to get a message across on camera. So that was the most difficult, and bless Melanie Hall and Sheila Strober for having me on the show and asking me to co-host it and being part of that journey, because part of that journey was helping other people get comfortable with the medium. So that was a real pushing force for me to learn how to get more comfortable with it. So after all of that, and yeah, I love learning new things, and you're always learning new things from other people. So it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it.
I'm really thrilled that you mentioned Melanie Hall's show, because that really has been an ongoing place for your presence. And I saw Melanie's show early on in 2014 when it started. I connected with her then. But that's another great example of service to the Hangouts on Air and the Google Plus community. People can see, this is what we do. We put these programs and these shows out there so people can feel comfortable, grow their experience. And you've had a special role in that, and we appreciate you so much for doing that. And I want to jump on over now to, I'm going to ask Nazim about your first experiences being on Hangouts on Air, because, I know from Rain, she was really shy at first, and even when she was on my Hangouts, she would she'd help with the production, but she didn't want to be in front of the camera much. It was kind of funny, because I thought whenever she came on camera, she was fine. I was trying to give her the feedback, way to go, girl. I mean, you're looking good. You say the right things. But what was that like for you, Nazim?
For me, it was very interesting because obviously I had the opportunity, thanks to some who I consider friends, Chef Dennis, Mia Voss, to be invited inside the show. So that right there from the bat kind of made it, once you get to know people and you feel comfortable with them. For example, the green room experience here is right before we started the show. I mean, all the laughter and the banter that goes back and forth pretty much relaxes the mood before you start a show. So that makes it quite easy. Having done a couple of shows then, I decided along with my wife to start Casa Chiesi, which is our, whole, we basically do shows talking about Italy from the point of view of a couple. I took the Ronnie Bincer's Hangout Mastery course. I was involved in learning from him. The first hangout we did to launch Casa Chiesi was in August of last year, and we did it on the terrace of the house here. with tons of wine. We did aperitivo, and it was really, and we just invited people to come in, friends to come in, you know, and it was a lot of fun. The only big problem was, having taken the course and everything, you know, there's always something that you miss or something that happens, and in that case precisely, I had Shannon Hernandez, who's a great friend also. He came in and he put in the camera app and started taking pictures, but I had never used the camera app. So when we reached the end of the show and I had to close it, I could not find the close button to save it. And I'm sitting there going like, I can't, and Chef's going like, Nazim, close the hangout. And everybody just starts, you know, joining in, says, Nazim, the hangout. And finally, Shannon had to come back in, and had to close the hangout for me. But, you know, so those things happen. I mean, it's as much as there's the technical aspects, there's a lot of stuff to cover. There's a comment tracker. There's, you know, also letting people talk and not going over their voices. So, but once you get comfortable with it, let me tell you, and this is my personal opinion, one of the things that I love the most of Google Plus is the Hangout aspects of it, because I get to do fun shows, introduce people to a lot of stuff from our point of view in this part of the world, which is Italy, make great friends, and you know, it's very special.
So I'm going to take a moment to pin on up some comments, and also say hello to the people who have shown up live in the comment stream. We have Mia Moss here. Mia Moss in the house. Woo! And she says, Raindow is an amazing producer. Okay, Miss Raindow, you have a good testimonial right here. Speaking from experience, hashtag. She is an amazing hashtag right-hand woman for Hangout Production. How lovely for you to say, my dear Mia. Thank you. And we know you have a journey going across from the U.S. to Italy really soon to celebrate your birthday. We're excited about that for you. Let me see who else is here. We have Margarita Crystal Lotus saying hi to Deborah Rock, who came in and got a front seat in the house early today. Dave Pipe is here. And Dave is saying, it's been a warm, sunny day over here. He's in Great Britain, and now turning to dusk. And I'm getting better at unpinning comments. I used to do horrible at that. I'd pin them up, and then I'd forget, where are they? I need to unpin this mother. Okay. We have Kande Javier Sakai hanging out from Tokyo. She's here. This is a global show. It's so much fun. Deborah Rock is here. Let's see. Oh, Marcus Dieterle is here from Germany. Hello, everyone. Better late than never. Margarita Crystal Lotus is here. And for a minute, Mia Voss said, what have you done with Nazim Beltran? There's no way my brother would ever forget his glass of wine. Well, I'll tell you, Nazim, I'm going to pin you up for a minute. That is the most unusual background I've ever seen. I look at that stack of books behind you and say, is that from drinking too much wine?
Yeah, that's. I think the book. Yeah, it could be. It's an optical illusion. But there is somebody else also likes the book shelf in the back. Thanks a lot in the crowd.
That's fun. Okay, Terry Lee Britton has probably been chomping at the bit saying, okay, when am I going to get to talk? But Terry Lee Britton, I'm so glad you're here today because you really exemplify that spirit of play that is here on Google Plus and in Hangouts, and especially with being on game shows. Tell us about that.
All right. Well, yes, I'm on the some game shows, a Plus Word game show every Friday night, and Sunday nights we kind of alternate through different things. You know, a version of the Match Game, a version of Hollywood Squares, and Plus Word is based on the Password game. So yes, initially I was doing you know, how-to shows, and I did a few talking head opinion type shows and a lot of training shows, and I pretty much, was the beginner. I had taken Ronnie's course too, which I definitely recommend to anybody. Jump on Ronnie Binter's group. It's a wonderful group. Just to even be part of this community is just wonderful. And but so I gotten all the tech down, but I really hadn't gotten the relaxing in front of the camera part down. I'd done a lot of how-to videos on YouTube before, and I always hid behind the screen, the software that I was discussing. But I finally got up the nerve to get on the camera, and I gave myself a challenge to really get over this camera fear by doing 5 shows a week last year. And it helped, believe me, because my initial persona was like this. Well, I discovered a new computer thing. It uses this strange non-glare screen called Paper, they're calling it, and this oddball thing, a pencil, and it comes with this delete key on the end called an eraser. And well, the main way that you use it is you write on it, and it's incredible because it stays there.
Yes.
The memory, and it has vast amounts of memory depending on how many pages you get. And the memory is so cheap for this. It's unreal.
Terry.
So that's how they used to look.
So we very much appreciate your willingness to grow into your let loose more of Terry regularly.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, 5 hangouts a week, I want you to tell me a little bit more of that. Like, were you recruiting yourself and forming relationships so you could be on lots of other shows, or were you hosting 5 a week? Tell me about that.
I was just
That's a lot of shows.
I was soloing 5 a week, and I didn't have guests until I had one guest in all of my shows. And so and that was a great show, and but I wasn't used to it. And then here I am just launching, getting into guests. That was month 2 of my 3-month expected thing, and my internet completely died for Upstream, and it was 6 months before I could get it back on. It totally knocked it took all the steam out of my engine, that's for sure. And but so I'm just getting rolling now again. But the really great thing is that it's really good that I didn't start hosting shows and stuff, really, I think, for my guest's sake, because I was still so stiff. And I really wasn't relaxed in front of the camera or being myself. I was being very formal. And, that kind of like staring. And now we're going to, the next thing we'll discuss. And so all of a sudden we started doing these game show things. And that was originally as a private HVC. And just a bunch of people in the user-to-user community were getting together Friday nights and bringing some drinks. Not me, I don't drink blue juice. That's my speed. And just hanging out. And Michael would bring out his board games out of his closet. He's got like 150 board games, and he's enticing us, pulling us in to play a game. So we started doing this every Friday. And about a month and a half in, we decided to go ahead and push the live button and make them broadcast, and we got a bunch of people coming on. We were like, whoa. And so then we started inviting guests and doing couple shows and doing all this kind of stuff, and it broke my stiffness completely, and I just really got to be a chance to just be myself. And as crazy as I am, everybody now knows, that whole facade he was putting on was exactly that. He's crazy. So it's done wonders for my authority, building my authority, and people respect me on innumerable topics.
I need to ask a request, which I keep asking, because I asked Michael, I said, can you guys do just one for me and move it out of that time zone so I can join in?
Yeah, I already said I would do it, and it'll only be me, unfortunately. But I'm just not very much of a... I guess I'm not a leader in that way.
It starts at 4 in the morning, and I always try to put the clock on, and I'm like, no.
By the way, folks, game shows are so popular in Italy. We have thousands of people watching that show, all personified by Nazim.
So I have another question, and this is related to Michael Daniels, who is creator of so many of these game shows, and also the user-to-user community with Andrew Hatchett. And I asked actually both of them to be on the show, and the time didn't work out. But I know that most of you know them well, and the amazing service that they have really also provided to people growing their Hangout skills, and even, you know, coming to understand these other offshoots of Hangouts, like the business Hangout format, and all these, and some additional technological add-ons that can be utilized for creating other things with different camera shots, with ManyCam. I understand that, is it the Hollywood Squares or the Hangout Squares, whatever they call it, do they actually have like rows of people where you can see all the people on the screen? Is it like that, Terry?
Yep. Michael pulled it off with using ManyCam.
Wow.
And he also brings does the scoring using Excel of all things, and has a countdown timer that's a web-based countdown timer. He makes it into a small window, so it just appears in its own little window. And he also occasionally brings in sound effects and music and video. He opens the show with a video thing and closes it. And so
to Hangout watchers on YouTube and here on Google Plus, join us. We will be sure to put up the links for those, for those game shows, so that you can join in. It would be great to grow those audiences. And Rain will also put up some of the other links to the other shows that you host, and that's fantastic.
Oh, and the user-to-user community. It's user numeral 2 user.
Community. Yeah, that's good. So one of my own aspects of service was last May of 2014. I wanted to do something for the Laughter Yoga global community, and Dr. Madan Kataria was hosting for many years had been doing something called World Laughter Day, which was celebrated on the first Sunday of May. And so once I got Hangout capable, I contacted him. He's the founder of Laughter Yoga, and said, would you like to have Hangouts for World Laughter Day? So we actually did that. We had 3 Hangouts. I started one at 5 in the morning here Eastern Time, one at noon, and one in the afternoon, so that we can actually bring in global audiences watching. And on each show we had 6 to 7 laughter yoga and laughter wellness luminaries from around the world laughing together. And who knows, we might do that again this year.
Now I'm a laughing luminary.
You're a laughing luminary, okay? And we're sure going to have you on some future laughter programs. And Nazim, you've expressed some interest in that too, and I am thrilled.
I did some research, and I found the visit that John Cleese of Monty Python did out there to visit the doctor you were mentioning, and they went through the whole session. It's very, very interesting.
It's very interesting. And so I'm going to invite each one of you, since I know Rain has laughed with me before, and Terry laughed with me last week also. Terry, thank you for coming and joining me last week.
First time I've ever laughed.
That was,
like that.
You never laugh like that. But I'm going to invite everybody, I'm going to invite all of my panelists to just do the warm up your giggle thing. Just to let people out there in Hangout Land know, look, we build social connection when we allow ourselves to laugh and be playful. In fact, I like to say that finding unifying solutions through play is kind of what I'm about. We know that companies like Google, lots of Silicon Valley companies, they actually create their environments so people can gather together, hang out, and actually do creative play to spur their own creative problem-solving processes. So, to do a little bit of laughter yoga, laughter wellness, we take a deep breath in, and then we exhale and laugh and smile and try to get all that stale air out, because we feel better when we're oxygenating more fully. So I'm just going to ask all my panelists to do this with me. Deep breath in.
Okay.
Ha 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 ha. And we'll even do it one last time before we continue on with the conversation. And this time, we'll make it an Asian greeting laughter. So you put your hands together in namaste fashion. You look at that blue light in your webcam, and you go, ha 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 Thank you, Ray.
Yes.
Thank you, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Nazim.
I feel much better.
Mm-hmm. It works.
It works. It's better than a glass of wine.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, we have a green room thing after each game show, and bring in as many people as we can. And it usually goes for 2.5, 3 hours after the 10 o'clock show is done. So like 2:30 in the morning, I'm finally going to sleep. And we are laughing so much that the prevalent complaint is that the face muscles hurt and the stomach muscles hurt. So it's actually dangerous. I recommend that you see a doctor before laughing for 2 or 3 hours.
You know, the physiological thing that happens is, as you keep smiling and keep laughing, your body keeps releasing endorphins, and they will not only make you, feel good in mood elevation, but they also take away pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the focus of a book called Anatomy of an Illness by Norman Cousins, which was one of the first books to talk about this really helpful benefit of just continuing to laugh and laugh and laugh. You know what? We have other folks over here in the comment stream, so let me say hello to a couple folks. Carmen Mandich is here. Missy J is here. This is very cool. I'm having fun here. And Carmen says, laughing is one of the best exercises in existence. Laugh until your stomach hurts. Amen to that, sister. And it was interesting. Carmen, whose profile picture is of a kitty cat, recently put a post where we actually got to see a little more of her. Maybe, just maybe someday, we'll coax her to come and be on a hangout. Maybe, just get some practice, because who is that Catwoman, anyway?
She's in Spain,
Carmen,
right across the border, yeah. She's right here in Spain also.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
She's in Europe, so that would be...
Okay, and let's see. Candy, Javier Sakai says, oops, I lost it. I'm having difficulty scrolling through my comments. So Candy's here. She's laughing a lot. Marcus Dieterle is saying hello to Missy J. Laughter's contagious. Dave Pipe is commenting. This is Bruno. Bruno Miguel Santos. I think he's new watching our show. Am I watching a villain convention for training laughter? Well, we're playing around, that's for sure. Anyway, let me get back to talking with Nazim about doing mobile hangouts, because that's an area where many of us can expand into, but we might consider doing it by learning from those who are doing it now and then. So tell us about it.
Okay, well, mobile is a little bit more complex in the sense that the main issues that you need to deal with is that you need to have a very good mobile connection. In the case we did, the first one we ever did was on top of the Duomo Church in Milan. And that went on for about 45 minutes. It was a lot of fun because people were kind of looking at us like, what are you guys doing? And the guards, my wife was more worried about the guards coming in and interrupting the process. But I said, that'll make it even more fun if we get arrested. So it went very well. Obviously, you need to have somebody from the outside to help you. We had Debbie Davis and Chef Dennis and Mia Voss helping us from the outside to call in, because you cannot start a hangout on your own from either the iPhone, the mobile device, or the iPad for whatever you choose to do. But I have to say that regarding engagement on that one, in fact, I'm getting a lot of people keep commenting, how did you do it? So we like to mix it up in Kazakezi, and apart from doing interviews and stuff and talking from wired locations, we like to go out. We did the antique markets. That was kind of difficult to do, because also people get very, you have to kind of like be very careful about who you're contacting. In that one, we used a selfie stick, which is all of a sudden becoming a very unpopular item, because people's like, oh no, the selfie stick. But it is quite entertaining to do it with a selfie stick. It's a challenge, but I quite like mixing it up a little bit. And mobile, I think Ronnie has done mobile. I mean, he did South by Southwest along with Jeff C. And when I saw that one, I said, wow, I'd like to try it. It's not hard. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible.
So who are Rain? Help me think, and Terry, help me think. Who are some of the other folks that are doing mobile? I think Mia Voss is.
Yeah, well, Mia, well, she travels around quite a bit, so yeah, she does mobile ones like from hotels and things like that.
Well,
yeah.
we got somebody in the crowd, Candy Javier Sakai in Japan. She did a fantastic live hangout from one of Japan's most famous food markets, stores, department stores. That was a lot of fun. I remember that one, and that one I precisely watched it because I was very curious about mobile, because you learn watching other people doing mobile too.
Mm-hmm.
That was an amazing one.
That sounds like a topic that we should probably have a whole separate hangout on, and invite Candy on. Of course,
it's inspiring, very inspiring.
And I'm noticing a couple other people who have joined the comment stream. Dave Moore is here. He said, I lost signal then. Did you say your body releases dolphins?
Only the dolphins.
Endorphins. And Jeremy Murphy. Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy Murphy is asking, how much laughter per day is needed or recommended? So what I can tell Jeremy is, as a health and wellness practice, if you laugh like 10 minutes as a laughter practice, you will really stimulate the physiological benefits, which include immune system support, really interrupting the production of any cortisol, that's a stress hormone in your body. It also has cardiovascular benefits, the oxygenation benefits.
Qualify that, definitely. The deep breathing is a huge part of the benefit right there too, and all that full body movement of laughter just takes advantage of that oxygen and pumps it all over the place. So you can take a deep breath, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to oxygenate from it. A lot of it will just all the oxygen will just blow right out again. But if you laugh while you're exhaling, that oxygen gets taken in and is sent to all the right places.
Yeah. So I want to ask one more question, of the panel before we then wind up with everybody's either final thoughts or reflections and kind of self-promo things. And that question is, when you are looking to grow your own following on Google+, what are some of the ways you can be supportive of the influencers you're following. And one of the things I immediately want to mention and say thank you to Rain, after my last hangout, what she did for me was she did a mini timestamp of the hangout and then reshared the hangout. I hadn't gotten around to doing it, but it drew in a whole lot more viewers, and that was wonderful. So Rain, I want to thank you for that. And you know, we're friends and buddies. You know, we self-promote each other. We promote each other's shows. But so thank you, Rain.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, and you know what? There's so many things to video and ways you can make things easier, because everybody's time is limited. They have certain amounts of time that they can give to things. So, you know, an hour-long show or even a half an hour-long show sometimes for people is hard to get to, even on a replay. So I love the time stamping ability and being able to, you know, give people an opportunity to get right to things. So, and plus, I was going through the laughter exercises when I was doing it because it's good for you. So it was a lot of fun.
You mean you can make anything an excuse to laugh?
I know. Like
time stamping.
Time stamping laughter. There we go. So once again, let me ask the other folks on the panel, what are some other ways that, you know, that we can support our other Hangout hosts or influencers, you know, on Google+, this way of serving?
Well, the way I do it is to be a really good commenter, and I make comments that actually add to the conversation as often as I can. I go out and do links. If someone mentions a link, I'll go out and grab that link and throw it in the comment stream right away. Like if they mention a book, I'll find it on Amazon, put that link up. And so little supportive things that you can do that enhance the comment stream is one great way to support people that you like that who are influencers or are budding influencers.
Right.
So.
And
yeah, that's a very good point, Terry. I mean, I also tend to do that a lot, in the sense that I think what happens inside the shows, when most of the shows that you tend to watch, that you love to watch because you either engage with the people or there's a whole group of people that follow, you're always participating, adding comments. And then another thing that I love to do is that once I meet most of the people that I've been involved with the shows with, be it as a host or as a guest in panels, I then ping them directly. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, and most of the time, if there's been a chemistry between the people, you know, I've considered friendships start from there, even if we were physically miles away. You know, so I think, and then that makes also. You get more involved in engagement, and you're more happy to promote shows and to share shows and to, you know, say, okay, maybe yes, I am there or whatever, and joining in and then watching replays. But as you know, the time is to be able to watch the shows live. It's quite difficult, and you know, there's a lot of factors involved. We all run around and work, and you know, time is of an essence. But I think it's important to be supportive of the community, you know, and everybody who's involved in the Hangouts.
One other thing that just occurred to me as I've become more and more aware, if I add a photo or a quote about my topic onto my Hangout event, if I post that as a photo, or if I allow others to do that, then that actually will send forth like a public notice about the show and also raise interest. So I would like to mention to my flocker audience, if I am posting a show and it's a topic you like and you find a quote, I will try really hard to remember to click open the little thing which will allow people who are coming to the comment stream to add those photos.
You know, the cool thing about the replays is if you can only catch the replay and you make comments that are relevant, good comments, everyone to watch that event gets a notification for the most part, and it renews interest in the show. It could have been a show from, I've gotten notifications from shows that happened weeks ago as people finally caught up to in the replays, and it reminded me, oh yeah, man, that was such a great show. And I sometimes wind up going and watching it again or making new comments.
Yeah, Terry, I'm really, really, really glad you mentioned that, because I know in the last week there are a couple hangouts that I was able to catch like 10 or 15 minutes of. And, you know, I really want to go back because there are people there I want to get to know better, or there's content that I really want to experience because they were talking about a topic that is important for my business, you know, for my personal development. So that is a really, really important thing. Go back, add additional comments on Hangouts, and that will generate more interest or revisiting by any of the people who have been in that comment stream. That's great. Let's see. I'm checking our comment stream right here. A few people have said hello to first-time Holy Shift Show visitor Bruno Miguel Santos. And let's see. Dave Moore said, I've seen a few people lift a 1 or 2 minute snapshot of what's contained in a Hangout. Just a very short, specific question and answer a subject. Seems to be very effective. Yeah, so thanks, Dave. I'm so happy you're here participating with us. We are now at 2:41 after the hour, and these hours are fun. They go by quickly. I want to ask each one of my panelists to give me like 1 or 2 words, not sentences, but something that just sums up your takeaway or your experience of the show today. Terry.
Oh, I was getting prepared. Wait a minute. Well, mostly, if you encounter this whole thing from a spirit of service, that helps a lot. And we're out to help people and contribute to the community. That's what I love about Google+. It's such a contributing type of a place. So. Okay,
Rain Dow, have a last word or a couple words? You're muted. Unmute. Unmute.
Thank you. It has to be fun with you, Elaine. It's always fun. I love the laughter yoga, and I love it when you're showing people and practicing all the different types of laughter yoga. I love that. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so stay tuned, folks. More is coming. Okay, Nazim, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you again.
Let me say, the whole week I was thinking about this show, and in a nutshell, it's what I expected. Enlightening and fun. A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Well, and that brings us back to, it's almost time for a Flucker Room, so Rain Dowell, would you be so kind as to grab that URL link and put it in the comment stream? Could you do that for me, sister?
Thank you. Too.
And I want to end up going back to the word practice. Practice is critical for gaining a sense of confidence and connection and excellence in everything we do. And it occurs to me, to bring more joy into your life, you consciously have to practice playing. You have to make that decision to let play into your life. And you have to practice consciously serving. This being on Google Plus and in Hangouts and Air is an awesome experience. And I don't have my little awesome sign here, but awesome is spelled A-W-E-S-O-M-E. So as you are practicing a new skill, as you are serving others, it's enhanced awesomeness for you, for me, and for the collective we. Let's wake up to love, fun, fulfillment, and even better businesses on Hangouts, Google Plus, and YouTube. I want to thank all of my audience who has shown up today live, and I want to thank all of those who might be watching on replay. Please add your comments via YouTube and especially on Google Plus, and we really want to lure many more people over to this dynamic place, which is Google Plus. Google Plus is not going anywhere, folks. We're here to stay because it's a place full of love. Okay, folks, come on over, come on into the Flocker Room. We're going to stop the broadcast now, and we will see you again next week. On what? I don't know yet. It'll come to me. Sayonara, everybody.